a Rumble Jack qualifier match.
We're gearing up for our second Rumble Jack qualifier, and I'm a little nervous. Matter of fact, I'm a lot nervous.
This contest is set for one fall. Making his way to the ring, weighing in, representing the end game from Asheville, North Carolina, Cutthroat CTK.
So the end game so far tonight are 1-for-1. Big victory earlier tonight, of course, for, we
go ahead and say it, he's right there.
No, he stares at you like we did something to him. I was literally trying to say he was the winner of the match, that being Nick Halen. Can the end game go 2-for-2 here with CT Keys looking to qualify to enter Rumble Jack in August?
Yeah, can he keep the momentum going for the end game as he takes on someone we haven't seen in quite some time here, GP?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the return of this superstar. Quite some time since we've seen Fry Daddy don the doors here at Southern Honor Wrestling. In fact, it was so long ago, it was at SHW 15.
Which happened to be what, GB?
That was the night that myself and Diana debuted, the night that V3 was formed.
That's right.
A historic night in the history and annals of this company.
December of 2019. So it's been a hot minute since we've seen Fry Daddy don the doors of the Action Building.
It certainly has, and he has been all over the wrestling world in that time. He's made an appearance in the WWE, an appearance in AEW. He's been all over the place. And so the question now is, can he curtail that and take that into an opportunity inside of the Rumble Jack to head for the SHW Championship?
Fry Daddy getting some love from the great crowd here in the Action Building. He is known all over Georgia, all over the Southeast. But it's rare that we get to see him here in the Action Building. But tonight, SHW 63. And as we said before, it's Rumble Jack season. So again, another Rumble Jack qualifier.
Certainly. And again, remember, the winner of the Rumble Jack gets an automatic shot at the SHW Championship. Of course, that championship at the moment is being held by Judas of the End Game. That, of course, could all be different by the end of tonight. But right now, it seems like the plan for Todd Sexton and the rest of the End Game is to get as many members of the End Game inside of the Rumble Jack.
And you got to think CT Keys probably not in a good mood. Of course, I don't know when he's ever been in a good mood, but of course he's coming off of a singles loss to Gunnar Miller, and then of course the War Chamber loss last month.
Right.
Whoa. And look at Nick Halen on the outside, distracting Fry Daddy.
You know, you talk about the numbers game. During Nick Halen's match, you only had to deal with Todd Sexton. Now Fry Daddy has to deal with CT Keys, who is enough in and of himself. But then on top of that, the distraction of the other two members of the End Game on the outside.
Now collar and elbow lockup. CT Keys showing his strength. And we just saw in the tag title match earlier how the numbers games comes into effect. It can affect the matchup.
It absolutely does. And of course, the End Game lives for the numbers game. They live for any kind of advantage that they would get. Now, it's not enough that CT Keys already has the size advantage, and you could argue maybe even the aggressiveness advantage. But no, that's not enough. And now,
whoa, the referee stopping Fry Daddy as he was backed up CT Keys in the corner. He got a pie face, but then he just hit a massive chop there on CT.
Yeah, Fry Daddy is not here for foolishness.
Oh, mercy.
And I don't blame him. This is a special year for Fry Daddy. It is year number 12 in the wrestling business, and he certainly would like to make an awful lot of that by finally getting an opportunity at the SHW Championship.
We talked about it on the podcast last week as we previewed the big card for tonight. Fry Daddy is not a pushover.
Not by no stretch of the imagination.
Some of these fans might not know who Fry Daddy is, but trust us, folks, he's been around a long time, and CT Keys has as well, so he knows very well that Fry Daddy's nobody to, sneeze at here.
Absolutely. Fry Daddy has won championships.
Oh, look out!
Whoa, in multiple promotions, including being a 3-time heavyweight champion over at WrestleMerica. Fry Daddy is definitely that guy. I mean, think about it. If promotions...
Ooh, penitent here. Hang on.
Count of one.
Quick 2 count.
Being the top of multiple promotions is certainly a big deal, and that's why you make your way over to Southern Honor. That's why you do that, because now you want to sit on top of the top indie promotion in this country.
Absolutely. And everybody knows the shot at the Rumblejack will get you that opportunity.
Whoa.
So when it's Rumblejack season, man, face first into the top turnbuckle went Fry Daddy. But when it's Rumblejack season, you never know who might show up.
That's just it. And you want to have your name among those greats.
Ooh.
And to be able to, oh boy.
We talked about this on the pre-show a little earlier, GB. You talked about a few months ago the viral moment that was for CT Keys.
Yeah.
Could we be seeing part 2 of that right now?
CT Keys, we call him the muscle, of course, of the end game, but he's also often unhinged, and that's what makes him so dangerous. He could snap at a moment's notice, and whoever is across from him, well, they're just in trouble. CT Keys doesn't really care about the rules. In fact, I think he's one of those guys that gets into the sport of pro wrestling because it is the one place where you can have legalized violence. Oh, God!
Massive lariat, nearly taking the head off of Fry Daddy. Penitent here with that forearm right across the face, but a 2 count. Is Fry Daddy able to fire up that left shoulder?
Let's ask this question. We've looked at what it would mean for Fry Daddy to actually make it into the Rumblejack, but what would it mean for CT Keys to make his way into the Rumblejack?
We talked about that earlier in the matchup, the qualifier matchup between Nick Halen and Kevin Ryan. What an uppercut there from CT. But you got to think if the end game is still on the same page after the War Chamber, which so far tonight it appears that they are, you would think that either Nick Halen or CT Keys would do everything they can to win the Rumblejack and then protect the title should Judias still hold it come August.
Well, that's the big question. You've got to imagine if they're doing this much work to ensure that all of the end game gets into the Rumblejack, you got to imagine the work that they could do perhaps later tonight to ensure that Judias keeps the SHW Championship in our main event.
We've already said it here tonight, folks. It's all about that numbers game. It was that numbers game in the tag title match. It's going to be the numbers game perhaps in the main event with the end game against Gunnar Miller.
Certainly will, and I think this battle with CT Keys is having to pull something out of Fry Daddy. Gosh.
As soon as you say that, CT Keys with that scoop slam, and he does it with such aggression, such force. And another one there for Fry Daddy.
And look, and another one. This is what I'm saying, that organized, authorized violence.
Another pin attempt here to go to the Rumblejack.
Oh, boy.
Just a 2 count.
He looks great. There's no denying that.
We can't argue with you.
There's no denying that.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for stopping by. We always appreciate it.
The whole world needs to hear that. Of course they did.
All right, now CT Keys in full control here. Looking for a back suplex, but no. Fry Daddy lands on his feet and hits a clothesline out of the corner. And another one there from Fry Daddy. Fry Daddy trying to fire back up here.
And as I often say, Fry Daddy at this point does not need to dominate this match. He just needs to give me 3 seconds better.
Sling blade from Fry Daddy after that knee buster. He hit that knee to the face and then the sling blade, and now CT Keys in trouble. Woo! Springboard elbow off the middle rope.
Is that going to be enough? Could it be enough?
Oh!
Count of 2.
Almost saw an upset here.
Certainly did.
And would it really be an upset? That's what I don't know if the fans really realize.
Right.
Because, Fry Daddy not a newbie by any means.
Not at all. A 3-time champion over at WrestleMerica. And, went for a cutter there. But he got caught.
About to go to sleep here, perhaps.
He got caught.
You see how CT's got his legs wrapped around the waist. He's got that choke locked in, full force.
Literally squeezing the energy and life.
Look at Sexton pulling that bottom rope away out of the view of the referee.
And now you got to wonder, what will Friday? Look at this.
Friday,
whoa!
He turned it into a pin attempt.
Smart move from Friday.
Veteran-like move.
No.
Big Uranagi classic CT Keys.
And that could do it.
That might do it. He's put plenty of opponents away with that move right there, but no. Friday says not yet.
Friday said, no, I'm not going out into the night like this. Friday has traveled all over the wrestling world and would love to be amongst the 30 competitors set for this year's Rumble Jack.
Tilt-a-whirl there. Into a DDT for Friday. What a counter.
Innovative counter there for Friday, and now could be the opportunity. Now could be that moment if Friday can capitalize and punch his ticket to the Rumble Jack.
And I think CT Keys is slowly realizing that Friday is nobody to play around with here.
Absolutely, but it makes you wonder, what are the reserves that CT Keys will move into when he understands that?
Back elbow from Keys out of the corner. And look at this!
Oh!
Sit down powerbomb for Friday to go to the Rumble Jack. Will it be enough? Oh, man.
Whoa. The entire end game got incredibly nervous at that moment.
Friday almost punched his ticket to the biggest show of the year at the Rumble Jack in August.
Friday is now thinking, and he had to have a game plan coming into this because he knew, you're not going to outmuscle CT Keys. Your best bet is to possibly endure. Oh, boy.
What a knee lift there from CT Keys, and
Oh, gosh. Ushigoroshi.
Good night.
And that's...
Wait a second.
Here's your winner.
No, just a 2 count.
He said he got out.
Match continues.
We heard a bell, but the referee said he got his shoulder up.
I think our bell ringer was a little trigger happy there.
Well, that was kind of wild.
Look at this.
Wow.
Our official, Jeremy Prater, ejecting the other members of the end game from ringside.
The referee's hand hit 3, but the referee again decided no, the shoulder came up, and the referee has the right to make that decision.
Now Friday looking for a cutter, but he missed. Call it, GB.
That is the pounce!
3, period, that's it. CT Keys goes to the Rumble Jack.
CT Keys!
That didn't sound like Diana.
That didn't sound like Diana at all.
Todd Sexton has stolen the microphone
boy.
from Diana Michelle.
Oh, boy. And so there's part 2. Part 2 of the end game's plan.
By the way, what's he